Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jane and I'm planning on doing book reviews, reading vlogs and a lot of bookish stuff. So please, if you like my content, subscribe and leave a like and let's get straight into the video. I'm really excited for today's video because today we are doing the first book haul of 2021. I'm so happy because today is finally the day I'm showing you all the books I got in the mail in the last month. I got a lot of books. Over 45 books. I've got a good mix of fantasies, romance, thrillers, and even horror books. So let's just get started because there's a lot of books to talk about. So the first book I'm going to show you today is Cinderella is Dead by Kalynn Bayron. Okay, so this is a feminist Cinderella retelling that takes place a lot of years after the original Cinderella story. And in this story, each year teen girls are required to go to an annual ball in which men can choose them to be their wives. But the main character of the story doesn't want to marry a man from a ball. She actually wants to marry her best childhood friend. But if a man chose her, she doesn't have any choice but to marry him. This book is supposed to be about girl power, which is always good, and I really love retelling, so I'm really excited for this one. Okay, so the second book is also a retelling, and this time this is a retelling about the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, which sounds really interesting. And this is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Marissa Meyer is the author of the Lunar Chronicles series, which I'm currently reading and which I really love. So of course I'm going to pick more books by her, and Heartless is the first one I'm going to read after I will finish the Lunar Chronicles series. So this is about the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, but this is about her first time ever falling in love before all the story with Alice even happened. This sounds so interesting because I guess we will see why she became so evil, and I definitely will be reading this after I finish the Lunar Chronicles series. So the next book is also a retelling, but this is the last retelling in this pile. Yes, I know I have a lot of retellings, I just love them. And this is Girl, Serpent, Thorn by Melissa Bashardoust. This book was in my previous video, my January TBR, so if you want to watch that, check it out. And this is a retelling about Sleeping Beauty and Rapunzel, and the story is about a princess who has been cursed and everyone she touches die. I don't know a lot about the plot in the book, but I'm really excited to read this one because the writing here is so pretty, and I already said that I really love this cover. The next book also was in my January TBR, and this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by Schwab, which I really want to read as soon as possible. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you already heard about this book because everyone has been talking about it in 2020. So of course I also want to read this one and I'm really excited. Okay, so this is a fantasy historical fiction about a girl who made a deal with the devil and now she can live forever, but the minute she walks out of a room, everyone forgets about her. But one day, everything is changed because she meets a boy who remembers her. I am definitely reading this one this month. I'm so excited to dive into the story. And I thought that maybe I will do a reading vlog about it, but I'm not sure. So if you want to see me reading it in a reading vlog, please tell me in the comments. Okay, you don't have any idea how much I'm excited for the next book, because the next book is a horror book, which I never read, and I really want to read horror for the first time. So I'm really excited to show you the next book, which is Wilder Girls by Rory. And this is also a really hyped up book and book that a lot of people loved. So this book is about a school that I think is on an island, and outside of the school fences there is an horror creature that kills also teachers and also students, so everyone is afraid from it. The best friend of the main character gets kidnapped by this creature and the main character is going to find her. I just know this story is really weird and it sounds so good, and I just can't wait till I have the time to read this one because I'm really excited about it. I know that I'm saying I'm excited about a lot of books, but I truly am. The next book is also an horror book, and this is Horrid by Katrina Leno. This story is about a girl whose name is Jane. Oh my god, my name is Jane too. And after the death of the father of the main character. She and her mother are moving into the place her mother grew in. And in this place and the house they are living in, a lot of strange things begin to happen. Like I said, I never read horror and I really want to start reading and trying this genre. So of course I'm also really excited for this one and I will be reading it pretty soon. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a few romance books I got, and the first one is Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. This story is about a boy who meets a girl and they starting to fall in love, but after they meet, the girl die. So basically, instead of being always together, the opposite of it happens, which is really cool, and I really love the name of the book. But after the girl died, the boy travels in time for the first time they ever met, and he's going to try to save her. I really love the idea and the concept of this book, so I'm really excited to read this one also. Okay, so the next romance book is also a really hyped up book, and this is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This story is about two writers, a boy and a girl, who met on a summer vacation. They both the opposite of each other, they write the opposite genre from each other, but because both of them are in a writer block, they decide to try something new and to try write the other's genre. Basically, it sounds like a really cute love story, and it's about writers, which I really like because I really like reading stories about writers. A lot of people have been saying a lot of good things about this book. It's been really talked about, and I'm really excited to try this one because it sounds like a love story I will really love. Okay, so the next romance book is actually a book that I already read, and this is the Flatshare. Honestly, I didn't like this one. I gave it 2 stars, but I will tell you a little bit about it because maybe you will like it. Okay, so this story is about a boy and a girl who starting to share a flat. Basically, the two characters work in different hours. Tiffy, the girl in the story, is working mornings, and Leon, the guy, is working only nights. And in the weekends, he doesn't in the flat, which means that they will never meet. I think that the idea of the story is really cool, but I didn't like the characters at all. They felt a little bit flat to me, and I just don't know. I didn't feel the chemistry between the two main characters. So I personally won't recommend this book, but maybe you will like it. Okay, so the next romance is Dating You, Hating You by Christina Lauren. Christina Lauren is a popular romance author that a lot of people have been talking about. I never read something by her, but I really want to, and I really look forward to read this book because it sounds really interesting. This is about a boy and a girl who met on a Halloween party, and they are agents from rival companies. Maybe it will be something like Band Love, I'm not sure, but I really want to find out, and I will probably be reading this one next month. Continuing all the romance books, the next book is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover is one of my all-time favorite authors. Most of the books I read by her, I gave 4 or 5 stars, which is amazing. I really love her work and I really want to read this one. This is an adult romance about a married couple and about their difficulties in their relationship. I don't know anything more about this book, but I will read everything that Colleen Hoover writes because I really love her and I'm really excited to read this one. So the last romance book is I Will Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. Actually, I looked now on the synopsis and I'm not sure this is a romance. This is a story about 2 brothers, like a brother and a sister, something like this. I just know this is a really hyped up book, but I really want to give it a try and I really want to read this one because a lot of people have been loving this one. The next book is also a book I already talked about in my January TBR and I'm planning to read it this month, and this is the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. So this is a thriller, and the sister of the main character of the story killed all of her ex-boyfriends, and now she's starting to date a doctor from the main character's work. But the main character's in love with this doctor, and now she needs to choose if she will be on the side of her sister or if she will try to save this doctor guy, because the main character is sure her sister will do the same thing also to the doctor. And now I finished to talk about the standalones, now I will talk about the books that are a part of a series, and I will start with the books that are from series I already started to read, and the first one is Vicious Spirits by Kat Chu. This is the second book of Wicked Fox. I read Wicked Fox last month and I really loved it. I gave it 4 stars and I'm really looking forward to read this one. I don't want to spoil anything, so I will talk about the first book, about Wicked Fox. Wicked Fox is a contemporary romance story that takes place in South Korea, Seoul. This is about a girl who is Gumiho. Gumiho is a creature in the Korean mythology, which is a fox with 9 tails. This is a heavily romance book and it truly feels like a K-drama, which is really cool. And now, after I read the first one, I really want to read the next. The story ended in the first one. This is a prologue. I think that the story in this book is from the point of view of 2 different characters, not the 2 main characters from the first book. And because I really loved the first one, I'm really looking forward to read this one. The next series in this book haul is the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer. Heartless from the start of the video is also a book by Marissa Meyer. And this one, Winter, which was on my January TBR, is the 4th book in the series. The second book, Fairest, is the 5th book of the series, and this is a prologue from the Queen Levana point of view. I read the first 4 books, which were amazing, and I really love this series, and I really want to know on which direction the story will go and what will happen to all of the characters. It's really exciting for me. Those 2 are the new cover editions, which are beautiful. Right now I have only the 4th and the 5th book in the new cover edition. The first 3 I read in Hebrew in the old cover editions, but I really like those ones, and maybe I will buy one day all the series in the new cover edition because they are really beautiful and I really want to see all of them next to each other. They are so beautiful. I really want to read Winter, and like I said, it was in my January TBR, so please, if you haven't watched the video yet, check it out. Okay, so we finished with the series that I'm continuing reading, and now I will talk about the series that I will start reading in the next few months, which is really cool. Okay, so actually I have a confession. A day after I filmed the January TBR, I started to read a book that wasn't on my January TBR, and I'm really sorry about it, but I just couldn't resist myself and I really wanted to read this one. And this one is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. So this is a part of a trilogy, and this is the first book in the trilogy, and actually the idea of the trilogy is really cool. This is a dystopian story, which I really like. Dystopian is one of my favorite genres, alongside with fantasy, and I'm really enjoying this book by now. I read only the first 100 pages, but I will be continue reading it in the next few days. So I'm really excited to know more about the story. This is about a perfect utopian sci-fi world in which there is a way to live forever, so people won't die. But because there is not enough food and sources for everyone, someone needs to die. For this purpose, they are scythe, which are the only ones in the world that can kill someone, and they are the ones who choose which people to kill. This is from 2 points of views, a 16-year-old boy and a girl, which are chosen to be scythe, and this is about their story. By now, I really love the world building, and in the end of the month, in the wrap-up video, I will talk in more about this after I finish it. The next book is by a really popular author, and this is Knife House by Lee Bardugo. This is also a really hyped up book. It came out in 2020 and this is the first book in the series. I'm not sure when the rest of the books in the series is going to come out, but a lot of people really love this one. This story takes place in Yale University, which is really cool. The main character of the story gets a chance to go to the university, and there's a lot of mystery things with all the societies. I think this is a thriller and a mystery, maybe a little bit horror, but I'm not sure. This is a dark academia book which got really popular in the last year, and actually Lee Bardugo went to Yale, which is really cool because you can read about the university from eyes of someone who's been there. I really think I'm going to enjoy this one. A lot of people enjoyed it, and I really look forward to reading it. The next book is the first book in the trilogy, and this is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This book sounds really amazing. This is about fays, which is really cool because I never read something with fays, but I think I will really love the concept. Actually, I don't know a lot about this book on purpose because I really want to get into it without knowing anything. I'm pretty sure I will be loving this one, and I'm thinking about doing a reading vlog also for this one, so if you want to see it, please tell me. But it's definitely one of my higher priority books I want to read. I'm really looking forward to this. The next book is Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Aidenme. This is also a YA fantasy story, and this is a book that came out in 2019. I'm not sure how many books going to be in the series, but the second one already came out. The story takes place in Africa, I think, which is really cool. And in this story, the king killed all of the people who can control the magia, the magic, but the main character of the story tried to return it. Like I said, it takes place in Africa, which is really cool, and I never read something that takes place in Africa, so I really want to read this one and to see all the culture and all the world building, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next book is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Young, which also was in my January TBR. This story takes place in an Asian fantasy world, and each year there is 8 girls chosen to serve the king. This is an LGBT story, which is really cool, and I already talked about it in my January TBR. There is a lot of trigger warnings with this book, so if you're planning to read this out, check them out. I definitely will be reading this one this month. I'm so excited for it and look forward for my opinion on it. The next 2 books are the first 2 books of the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. I have here the first 2 books. And yes, I know that there's a new cover editions for it, and I know that everyone has been getting those cover editions, but I decided to read this trilogy in Hebrew. So the 2 books we have here are the 2 books in Hebrew, which are the old cover editions. Yes, I think that the new cover editions that look like this are really beautiful, but again, I decided to read this one in Hebrew. This story takes place in Prague, and this is about demons and angels. I think that the main character of the story, which is a girl, is demon, but I'm not sure. I just know that she meets an angel one day, and that's when things starting to get complicated. The main character family is really weird. They help humans and help animals, something like this. I just know that a lot of people really love these books, like most of the books I bought. Again, I don't know a lot about the story because I love to get into stories without knowing too much. But like you can see, I already bought the second book because I'm pretty sure I'm really going to like this one. So I'm really looking forward to read this book, like all of the books I showed you today. And yes, I'm really excited for this one. The next book I will be talking about is Lovebot Taipai by Abigail Hingwen. First of all, I really love this cover. And look, you have lights here. This is so pretty. So yes, this is also was in my January TBR, and this is the last book in this haul that already was in that video. But I'm really excited for this one. This is about a Chinese American girl who wants to learn to dance, but her parents doesn't want her to, and they send her to a strict camp called Lovebot, but this camp isn't strict at all, and she will meet a lot of boys there and a lot of really interesting things. This book just sounds like a really cute YA romance story, a really heartwarming plot, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to love this one. The next book is Bad Romeo by Lisa Raven, and there was a really good discount, so I also bought the second book, Broken Juliet. The story in these books is a retelling about Romeo and Juliet. This is about the boy and a girl who play Romeo and Juliet in a school play. I think that they are in college. This is a YA romance book and it sounds really interesting, so I will be reading both of these sometime soon. We finished with the series! Yay! Now we have a really special category, and this is the graphic novels category. I really started to love graphic novels in the last few months, and the second graphic novel I will be talking about today is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. This is a really hyped up graphic novel series, and this is the first book in the series. The fourth book is going to come out this year in 2021, and of course I really want to try to read this. This is an LGBT story about two boys who fell in love. A lot of people say it's really an heartwarming story, and I really want to dive into this one. I'm really excited for this, so we will see when I will read this one. The second graphic novel is also a romance graphic novel, and this is Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. This is about this boy who Laura Dean keeps breaking up with, and all of his friends tell him she isn't good for him. I'm really excited to read this one too. And the last graphic novel is The Tea Draken Society by Katie O'Neill, which I already read, and I gave it 3 stars. This is a middle grade book about tea dragons, which is really cool. It's really short, so if you want to read this one, it won't take you a long time. And yes, this was a really cute story, so if you're looking for some middle grade graphic novel, this is a good one. Okay, so the next books I'm going to talk about is a few books I got in a really big discounts. All of them are in Hebrew, and I got them because they were really cheap. The first one is The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stointener. This is a standalone, and this is about the Scorpio races that takes place each year. The main character of the story participating in this race, and I actually don't know a lot about this race. One of my friends recommended me this story, so when I saw it on sale, I just had to get it. The next book is The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. Jojo Moyes is a really popular writer, and I read Me Before You by her. I really liked Me Before You, so I just want to read more books by her, and I saw this one, so I got it. The next 2 books are by the writer Liane Moriarty, and the first one is What Alice Forgot. This is a story about a woman who forgot the last 10 years of her life, and now she's trying to remember and live her life. The second book is Big Little Lies. This is also an adult book, and this is from the point of view of 3 women who are living their life. So this is the 2 books. I didn't read anything by this writer, but I heard good things about her, so I'm happy to try reading her stuff. The next book is The Impossible Vastness of Us by Samantha Young. Samantha Young is a romance author, and actually I don't know anything about this book. I just saw it in the discount, so I really wanted to get it. This is a romance book, and yes, that's it. I just don't know anything else about it. The 2 next books are a middle grade books, which I already read when I was little, and I wanted to get to maybe reread one day. The first one is East by Edith Fatton, and actually I already own the English copy of it, so I will be holding this one. The reason I got the Hebrew edition is because when I was a child I read it in Hebrew, and I want to read it in the same language I read it when I was little. But this was my favorite story when I was little. I don't remember a lot of it, I just know that this is about a girl and a bear, and like I said, I really love this one, so I really want to reread it one day. The next book is The Declaration by Jen O'Malley. This book is about a world where people can live forever. Yes, it sounds similar to Scythe, but not actually, because in this world you have a rule that you cannot make any more kids. The main character of the story is a girl that was born after this rule took place, and the kids that were born after this rule took place are basically slaves. So this girl is living in an institution, and I'm pretty sure this is a standalone, if I'm not wrong. So now we'll be talking about the last 2 books in the entire TBR. The first one is My Absolute Darling by Gabrielle Talent. I think this one is a thriller, but I'm really not sure. And the second one is I Will Be There by Ollie Goldberg Sloan. So yes, I'm not really sure what this book is about, so if one of you read them, please tell me in the comments if they are good or not. So yes, this is all the books I got in the last month, and I'm so excited to read all of them. I know that I said the word excited and looking for a lot in this video, but I really am. I'm planning on doing a lot of reading vlogs in the future, so if there is a book you saw in this TBR that you want me to do a reading vlog about, please tell me in the comments. And please tell me which book from this pile is your favorite. Thank you so much for watching my video. I will be uploading 2 times a week on Wednesdays and Sundays, and I see you all in my next video on Sunday. Bye!